A very good afternoon and many thanks for joining us at this time. You're watching News Analysis live on Politics and Business TV. The top stories. Federal government restates its commitment to the implementation of the Stephen Orunsaye report. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi SAN faults organized labor over nationwide strike. And as labor unions embark on a nationwide strike today, the Nigeria Police Force calls for caution to prevent a breakdown of law and order within the country. Details coming up shortly. Right, welcome back. I am Omo with a piece of the Stephen Orunsaye report. The Minister of Information was still in progress on the report, which is expected to reduce the cost of governance through merging, scrapping, and relocation of departments. Statutory agencies should be reduced to 161, 38 agencies abolished, 52 agencies merged, and 14 other ones should revert to departments in ministries. Now, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, says Nigeria's economy is experiencing an appreciable growth that may see the high inflation in the country's television program on Sunday. Recall that the National Bureau of Statistics had reported in its April Consumer Price Index that Nigeria's inflation rate rose to 33.20% in the month under review. However, the minister said the situation was under control, adding that the reforms and economic policies of President Bola above 60,000 naira. President of the NLC, Joe Ajaero, who announced the strike, added that the decision followed failed negotiations between the government and organized labor. The federal government had increased its offer to 60,000 naira, but Labour had revised its demand, reducing it by 3,000 naira from the initial 497 naira earlier proposed, further pegging the new proposal at 494,000 naira. However, the negotiations remained deadlocked as the government maintained its offer of 60,000 naira, leading to the declaration of a nationwide indefinite strike. Reacting, the Minister of State for Labour, Nkiruka Onyeji-Ocha's wide strike, Fagbemi, in a letter to the by the Festus Osif that the labor leaders might have an ulterior motive, as the minimum wage offer they presented was unrealistic for both the federal and state government. Right, you're watching News Analysis live on Politics and Business TV. Still to come, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has announced the complete shutdown of Nigeria's power grid by labor unions. By the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress begins today. The strike, which commenced on Monday, is in protest shutdown of the national power grid. In a statement issued on Monday morning by UMBA, the transmission firm said the action was deliberately done by the workers. The statement was titled "A Grid Shutdown Union Deliberately shuts down the national grid." I beg your pardon. What TC had in the statement of operations unit of TCN had at about 1:15 a.m. this morning reported that all operators were driven away from the control room. Examinations Council WAEC has appealed to organized labor to consider students sitting for the West African Senior Secondary Certificate Examination as it plans an indefinite strike. The head of National Office of WAEC, Dr. Amos Dangote, who made the appeal in an interview with newsmen in Lagos, said the council shared the concerns of organized labor and those of all Nigerian workers. Dangote lamented that most of WAEC's employees in Nigeria are members of the Nigeria Labour Group to start today. WAEC, like the Gambia, Liberia and Sierra Leone on April 30th, is scheduled to end by June the 24th, 2024. Today was the aim of getting the federal government to approve a living minimum wage for workers. The Nigerian police force has emphasized the importance of adherence to the existing laws, government of law and order within the country. A statement by the force public relations officer, ACP Muyiwa Adejobi on Monday said,
strike. They are taking maybe the drastic measures because they must have exhausted all means of engagement, to get strike is something that had been burning. It's something that because it didn't just start today. From the organized labor continues to engage, continues to push until I think October they set up tripartite committee to look into this issue of a minimum wage. Right. And at a point, I did that said that sorry, no, he would, but they made mind to cool down, to calm down. Look at the past 3 months or thereabouts, they have been struggling to even get the wage award. Talk of the minimum wage that the president inaugurated, approved some money for them, inaugurated. Now it's about almost 8 months. I think the organizers have been very, very patient and tolerant enough to have waited this time. And I've seen several times they try to engage the ruling class, the government, and I see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu playing fatherly role, intervening, calling the parties, and they restrain from engaging on whatever they plan to.
By the labor unions, it's been tagged unrealistic. From 600 and something thousand naira now, they do not know what they want. No. I don't think
that nobody would have believed it. Coming with, responding with that kind of
the last time. That's by the way. Now we've seen concessions by the federal government and labor, but negotiations are still.
There's end in sight, with interventions coming from the legislative arm of the government, and then threats by the threats from the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice of possible violation of an order from the court that is restraining the organized labor from going to strike. The time memorial and all over the world, there's nowhere you go for minimum wage and